How Cats Came to Earth, the 30-million-year journey from wild predator to your living room. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that the animal sleeping at the foot of your bed is actually one of the world's oldest surviving predators. It looks small, it purrs when you pet it, it chases strings and naps for most of the day. But hidden inside every house cat is the mind and body of a hunter shaped by millions of years of evolution. Cats can hear sounds we cannot hear. They can see in near darkness. They can twist their bodies in ways that seem impossible. They can jump several times their own height with incredible precision. Now here's the surprising part. Cats were never fully created by humans. Unlike dogs, which people selectively bred for thousands of years, cats mostly chose us. They walked into our villages on their own. They stayed because it benefited them, and in return, they changed human history forever. But where did they come from before they became our companions? To answer that question, we have to travel back, not hundreds, not thousands, but tens of millions of years, to a world where no cats existed at all. This is the incredible story of how cats came to Earth. Our journey begins about 66 million years ago. Earth looked very different. Towering dinosaurs ruled much of the planet. Then, everything changed. A massive asteroid struck near what is now Mexico. The impact released unimaginable energy. Wildfires spread across continents, dust blocked sunlight, plants died, food chains collapsed. Nearly 75% of all species disappeared. Among those lost were the non-avian dinosaurs. For many animals, this was the end. For mammals, it was the beginning. Small mammals that had lived quietly in the shadows suddenly found countless opportunities. Over millions of years, they evolved into many different forms. Some climbed trees, some lived underground. Some returned to the oceans, others became hunters. These early predators were the distant ancestors of today's cats, dogs, bears, seals, and many other carnivores. The age of mammals had begun. Around 55 million years ago, scientists believe small tree-climbing predators called Miacids appeared. They weren't true cats. They weren't dogs either. Instead, they were ancient relatives from which many modern carnivores eventually evolved. Imagine an animal about the size of a fox. Sharp claws, sharp teeth, quick movements, excellent vision. These creatures hunted insects, birds, reptiles, and small mammals. Over millions of years, evolution shaped different branches of this family tree. One branch eventually became the cat family. Around 25 to 30 million years ago, the first true felids appeared. These animals already possessed many of the characteristics we recognize today: flexible spines, retractable claws, powerful jaws, exceptional balance, stealth. They became masters of silent hunting. Evolution creates the perfect hunter. Evolution did not design cats overnight. Every successful trait appeared gradually over countless generations. Cats developed forward-facing eyes. This gave them outstanding depth perception, perfect for judging the distance of a leap. Their ears became incredibly sensitive. Many cat species can rotate their ears independently to pinpoint tiny sounds. Their whiskers became specialized touch sensors. Even in complete darkness, whiskers help cats detect nearby objects. Their claws became retractable. Unlike many animals, cats keep their claws hidden while walking. This keeps them razor sharp. Their tongues evolved tiny, backward-facing hooks made of keratin. These help remove loose fur, clean wounds, and strip meat from bones. Their flexible backbone allows explosive bursts of speed. A cat can leap several times its own body length. Every feature worked together. Cats became some of the most efficient hunters on Earth. As millions of years passed, cats spread across Africa, Europe, Asia, and eventually the Americas. Different environments produced different species. Some evolved into lions, others became leopards, some became tigers, others became cheetahs. One small species, however, would eventually change human history: the African wildcat. It looked surprisingly similar to today's house cat: striped fur, pointed ears, long tail, sharp yellow-green eyes. It hunted mice, birds, reptiles, and rabbits. Unlike lions, it lived mostly alone. It was cautious, independent, patient. Most importantly, it wasn't interested in humans, at least not yet. Chapter 5. The Beginning of Friendship. 4 minutes. About 10,000 years ago, humans made one of the greatest discoveries in history: agriculture. People began growing crops instead of constantly hunting and gathering. Villages became towns. Food was stored in large quantities. Then came an unexpected problem. Grain attracted mice. Mice attracted rats. Rodents multiplied rapidly. Food supplies were constantly under attack. Then another visitor arrived: wildcats. For them, villages became hunting grounds filled with easy prey. The cats didn't come because they loved humans. They came because humans accidentally built giant restaurants for them. People noticed something remarkable. Where cats lived, there were fewer rodents. Stored grain survived longer. Life became easier. Instead of chasing cats away, humans tolerated them. The boldest and calmest wildcats stayed close. The most fearful stayed away. Generation after generation, these friendlier cats became more comfortable around people. Without anyone planning it, domestication had begun. Unlike dogs, cats remained independent. Even today, they can survive remarkably well without humans. Yet they also learned to live comfortably beside us. Chapter 6. Cats become sacred. 3 minutes. No civilization admired cats more than ancient Egypt. Cats protected homes, protected grain, protected families from snakes and rodents. Over time, they became symbols of protection and grace. The goddess Bastet was often shown with the head of a cat. Families treasured their cats. Some were even buried with honors after death. Killing a cat could bring severe punishment. Because Egypt traded with many civilizations, cats spread across the ancient world. Merchants carried them on ships. Sailors appreciated them because they hunted rats aboard vessels. Every successful voyage helped cats reach new lands: Europe, Asia, later the Americas. Eventually, cats reached nearly every continent where humans lived. Chapter 7. The science behind modern cats. 2 minutes. Modern genetics tells an amazing story. The DNA of domestic cats remains extremely close to that of African wildcats. That means your pet still carries many ancient instincts: the stalking, the pouncing, the silent movement. Even playing with toys resembles hunting behavior. Scientists estimate there are now hundreds of millions of domestic cats worldwide. They have become one of humanity's most successful animal companions. Yet they remain wonderfully mysterious. So, how did cats come to Earth? Not through magic, not from another planet, not in a single moment. They are the result of millions of years of evolution. They survived mass extinctions, adapted to changing climates, perfected the art of hunting. Then, around 10,000 years ago, they made one simple decision. They followed mice into human villages. That small choice began one of the longest and most successful partnerships between humans and animals. Today, whether a cat is sleeping on a windowsill in New York, wandering the streets of Cairo, or watching birds from a home in Tokyo, it carries the legacy of ancient wild hunters. The next time you hear a cat purr, or watch it silently stalk a toy across the floor, remember this: you're not just looking at a pet, you're looking at the descendant of a survivor whose story began tens of millions of years ago. A story written across the history of life on Earth itself.